You are here because you felt it. This silence was strategic, and you need to know why. You clicked on this silence was strategic because something in your life went quiet, and you wondered if I had stepped away. The tension you feel is real. How can silence come from a God who speaks? Yet I see what you do not see. I have watched every tear, heard every unspoken prayer, and counted every restless night. Stay with me, because I am about to reveal why I held back, what I was arranging behind the scenes, and how this very silence became the foundation for what is coming next. You thought I was silent. You interpreted the stillness as distance. When the answers did not come quickly, when the doors did not open on your timeline, when the reassurance you longed for did not echo back immediately, you wondered if I had withdrawn my hand. But listen carefully, my silence was never abandonment, it was alignment. If I had spoken too soon, you would have moved too fast. If I had confirmed every desire instantly, you would have built on impulse rather than on wisdom. I was not ignoring you. I was positioning you. While you were waiting, I was working. While you were questioning, I was coordinating. I was shifting conversations you never heard, closing paths you never saw, softening hearts in rooms you have never entered. There were dangers you prayed about without knowing their names, and I blocked them quietly. There were attachments you were not ready to release, so I allowed certain comforts to fade gently instead of tearing them away abruptly. You called it delay. I called it design. Understand this. Silence is often the language of preparation. Roots grow deeper underground where no applause exists. Foundations are strengthened where no spotlight shines. I allowed the noise around you to settle so that your dependence on constant reassurance would weaken. You were growing too accustomed to visible confirmation. I needed you to trust my character even when my voice was not loud. And I saw the frustration in you. I saw the moment you almost gave up. I saw when you compared your timeline to others and wondered why their breakthroughs seemed louder than yours. But what you did not see is that I was preventing premature elevation. Some blessings destroy when given too early. Some opportunities collapse when character has not matured enough to carry them. So I kept you in the quiet, not to shrink you but to strengthen you. In the silence, I was adjusting you internally before elevating you externally. I was teaching you steadiness. I was teaching you discernment. I was teaching you to seek me for who I am, not only for what I provide. Because the next season of your life cannot be sustained by excitement alone. It must be sustained by conviction. So when you replay those silent days in your mind, do not label them as wasted. They were strategic. They were intentional. They were protective. And even now, as you begin to understand that I was positioning you, you must also prepare yourself to see what that silence exposed, because what the quiet revealed about your surroundings and about your own heart was not accidental either. You know why the silence felt uncomfortable. Because when the noise stopped, you could finally hear what was true. When I quieted the distractions around you, when the constant affirmations faded, when the busy rhythm you relied on slowed down, you were left face to face with your own thoughts, your own fears, your own attachments. And that discomfort was not punishment, it was revelation. I allowed the silence to expose what the noise had been protecting. Some relationships survive only because they were surrounded by activity. Some dreams stayed alive only because they were never examined closely. Some habits remained hidden because you never sat still long enough to confront them. So I reduced the volume around you, not to isolate you, but to illuminate what needed attention. In that quiet season, you began to see who truly stood with you and who only celebrated you when things were loud and successful. You noticed who reached out when there was nothing to gain. You felt the difference between support that was genuine and approval that was conditional. That awareness was not meant to make you bitter. It was meant to make you wiser. I was refining your discernment. I was teaching you to distinguish between temporary comfort and lasting alignment. You could not carry certain people into your next season, and I would not forcefully remove them. I let silence do the revealing. And it was not only others that were revealed. You saw yourself more clearly too. You saw how much you depended on visible progress for reassurance. You saw how easily comparison unsettled you. You saw how quickly doubt entered when affirmation was absent. These realizations were not accusation, they were invitation. I was inviting you to grow deeper roots, to build resilience that does not collapse when applause disappears. The quiet became your mirror. It showed you where insecurity lingered and where faith needed strengthening. You asked me for growth, and growth requires exposure. You asked me for elevation, and elevation requires purification. So I let the silence stretch you. I let it slow you down. I let it clear the stage so you could see what truly belonged in your life and what was merely occupying space. What felt like emptiness was actually refinement. What felt like loneliness was actually separation from distractions that would have diluted your calling. And now you stand stronger than before, even if you do not fully recognize it yet. The silence has stripped away illusions. It has sharpened your awareness. It has anchored you in a way noise never could. Because what I am preparing to entrust to you cannot be carried by someone who depends on constant validation. It must be carried by someone steady, discerning, and grounded. And that is who you are becoming. Now listen carefully. The silence that shaped you is not permanent. It was purposeful. You have wondered how long it would last. You have measured the quiet in weeks, in months, perhaps even in years. But what you could not measure was the internal transformation happening within you. The strategy behind the silence is reaching completion. You are not the same person who entered that quiet season. You are steadier now. You react less impulsively. You seek understanding before rushing toward outcomes. That change did not happen accidentally. It happened because I allowed stillness to mature you. Every unanswered prayer was not ignored. It was being rerouted. Every closed door was not rejection. It was redirection. Every delay was not denial. It was protection. I was building capacity within you so that when movement returned, you would not sabotage what I am placing in your hands. Rapid success without preparation becomes fragile. Sudden elevation without character becomes destructive. So I took my time with you, not because I was distant, but because I was intentional. And now, beneath the surface, momentum is building. Conversations are aligning. Opportunities are forming. Paths that seem blocked are quietly clearing. You may not see it yet, but the same precision that held you still is now positioning you forward. The silence taught you to trust without constant signs, and taught you to obey without immediate rewards. It taught you to remain faithful even when visibility was low. Those lessons are the very foundation of your next breakthrough. When movement begins, it will not feel chaotic. It will feel aligned. Doors will open with clarity rather than confusion. Decisions will feel steady rather than frantic. The peace you developed in the quiet will travel with you into the noise of new opportunities. That is how you will know the strategy is complete. Not because everything changes overnight, but because you move with a confidence that was absent before. You were never forgotten. You were being formed. You were never abandoned. You were being adjusted. The silence was not the absence of my voice. It was the strengthening of your spirit. And now that you have been positioned and refined, what comes next will not overwhelm you. It will confirm that every quiet moment carried purpose. Amen.